Everybody, welcome to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Lauren Coleman and Chad Silver.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and we're also on the News 2 app.
So the weather today, I think it's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I really like it.
We've got 4 days, if you count today, a really nice stretch coming up. We'll see low 80s for several days in a row.
And I think we've had our fill of the rain lately.
Yeah, we're done with that for a little bit. We need to dry out. But then we also, we have those fire weather advisories when it gets too dry. That's kind of what we're getting into now, but we'll talk about that coming up.
All right, sounds good. Well, we are getting a glimpse of how Toyota is looking to make a mark on the area as it constructs its new manufacturing plant.
The company just donated $500,000 to an organization called Communities in Schools of North Carolina and its program Jobs for North Carolina Graduates. The group helps ease the transition from high school to college.
Yeah, the donated money is meant to help the group reach even more students.
We started with 8 schools and we're growing year over year. And we're doing that because of great partnerships like Toyota. You know, at the end of the day, we can bring programs in because we have partners who help us support the work and make it possible.
And after just 6 weeks at Asheboro High School, the group says students are already seeing results. Thanks to this donation, JNCG says it's been able to expand the program.
Coming up at 4:30, we are talking to Blanca Cobb about internships. She will answer why they are important and how to help your kids find them.
All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. 4 people died in a horrific car crash on Highway 52 in Winston-Salem yesterday morning. Police say all 4 people were in one car. The driver of the other car had minor injuries. Investigators say one of the vehicles was going the wrong way on Highway 52, but haven't said which vehicle or how it happened. We also don't know yet the victims' identities. We'll have more on this crash today at 5.
We are learning more about a video circulating online. It shows a school resource officer hitting a student after they hit another student. We reached out to Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. They said on Friday 2 students were involved in an altercation at Walkertown High School. The school resource officer intervened to safely and quickly stop the fight. We are aware there is a portion of a video circulating. That video snippet does not reflect the entire context of the situation. This particular incident is currently being reviewed in its entirety. The safety of our students remains our priority as we serve our community with transparency and integrity.
Campus police at UNC Chapel Hill say a man attacked a female student on campus last night, then chased her. They are still looking for that suspect. We don't know the condition of the victim or whether they knew each other.
Police in Alabama are investigating a mass shooting over the weekend at a 16th birthday party that left 4 people killed and 28 others hurt, mostly teenagers. It happened Saturday night at a dance studio in the small town of Dadeville, where there are a little more than 3,000 residents. Witnesses report multiple shooters. One of the victims killed was a high school senior and the brother of the girl celebrating her birthday. This is what one of his friends had to say about what happened Saturday night.
I was standing right beside him. That thing, shooting went on. I think he went right into it. I went opposite way. I wish I could have pulled him out.
There are no suspects in custody right now. Police have not released the number of the suspects involved, a motive, or what type of gun was used. We will keep you updated as we learn more.
In the nation's capital over the weekend, hundreds gathered on the National Mall to call for gun control legislation. As part of it, protesters carried pictures of students killed in gun violence. They say just this month there have been 31 mass shootings nationwide, about 2 a day. It was organized by a group called March 4th, a group dedicated to banning semi and fully automatic weapons.
If you heard loud booms over the weekend, we have some answers for you. Several loud booms were heard in Asheboro and the surrounding areas. Here's why. First off, no one is in danger because of these booms. The West Side Fire and Rescue says it was someone shooting tannerite targets on their property. These type of explosives are used in firearm practice. People all the way in Liberty say they heard the booms again. There is no threat to the community.
Yeah, we're looking at temperatures for the next couple of days, and we will see that upward trend we've been talking about since last night. And it really looks like we could see some low 80s, so a little peak of summer for 2 or 3 days. Just a beautiful day today. You can see maybe a cloud here or there, but for the most part, we had some high clouds, and that was it. Just a really beautiful day, and we have a stretch of this coming up over the next 2 or 3 days, we think. Temperatures right now, we're at 67 degrees in Greensboro, 69 in High Point, 68 Winston-Salem, Reedsville at 69 along with Walnut Cove. Winds have been a little bit of an issue today. Current sustained winds are 10 to 15 miles per hour across the Triad, unless you go into the higher elevations, always windier in the mountains, but Boone with 22 mile per hour sustained winds. Now wind gusts, maximum wind gusts that we've seen since midnight, 29 miles per hour in Greensboro, 39 in Boone, 38 in Wilkesboro, 25 in Mount Airy, and 25 miles per hour in Asheboro. So a little bit blustery. We think we'll turn the volume down on some of those winds as we head into tomorrow, I think, but we'll still see some blustery conditions even again tomorrow and into the afternoon as this entire system kind of clears our area. 42 will be the low tonight, so tomorrow morning might feel a little bit cool for you, but highs up to 74 tomorrow. Lots of sunshine. It is beautiful. Winds 10 to 15. They could gust as high as 30, but I think we'll keep an eye out for that across the region. It will be kind of isolated though with heavier winds. Now, you look at the huge system here. Yeah, this is a low pressure center to the north. Cold front extends off the coast now. That continues its trek on to the east. No worries for us. In fact, we see high pressure move into place for us. And once you get on the left side of that high, that's when we see those winds start to move in, and we will see warmer conditions over the next several days. So tonight, 42 with clear skies. Again, winds out of the west 10 to 15. For tomorrow, we're going up to 74. It's really comfortable out there. Sunshine, a little bit breezy. But the 7-day forecast, hey, hoppers, they open tomorrow. I'll be out there at 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. We'll be talking about that. Opening night for the hops. And then sunny and 80 on Wednesday. How about 83 and sunny Thursday? 83 partly cloudy Friday. A little rain chance Saturday, 78. And we're back to the upper 60s for Sunday and Monday.
Hey there, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. Okay, this is your daily reminder. Taxes are due April the 18th. You have until midnight on the 18th to file electronically. Remember, the post office no longer stays open late for you to get a postmark by midnight. Hey, you know what? When you see this stat, it kind of makes you wonder, why do so many people wait? 3 out of 4 taxpayers get a refund, and it's been that way for years and years and years. Does it surprise you that most people get refunds, especially with like the negative connotation of taxes?
It's the first thing I thought of, though. As it means 75% of the people aren't balancing their budgets the way they should. If you consistently get money back, you're just letting the government have your money for longer.
That is what they say.
Yeah.
It is funny though. Like, you know, like I look forward to doing my taxes because I get money back.
Right. Yeah, and you get a big chunk of money that you can see versus like the extra
Right.
$50 in your paycheck
right.
or whatever. For those with refunds out there, do you save any for your refund?
I try to save a portion of it
Okay.
to put in savings, save a little bit to put in my checkings, and then I use the rest to pay off debt. So to
Okay.
help pay off credit cards.
Okay.
So I look forward to that refund. So I'm like, okay, I can pay this down.
Gotcha, and a good chunk of it, okay.
We usually try to balance it out so we don't get a whole lot
Much of a
back. We
refund.
usually owe a little bit.
And for me, it's just all like I put it toward debt. Now, I don't have a lot of debt, but like it just all goes to it. I don't
That's
save
what
it.
happens.
That's
Okay.
smart.
All right. Now you may have already spent your tax refund, those of you at home, but that does not mean that you can't jump on this next bandwagon. Ready for the next bandwagon?
Ready.
I know what you're gonna say.
The bandwagon is saving for the emergency fund. The rainy day fund, whatever you want to call it.
We've all experienced major financial emergencies, an unexpected home repair, medical bills, or even loss of income. Having a rainy day fund to cover these types of unplanned expenses can protect you from major debt, which could easily turn into a financial crisis.
The rule of thumb is having enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, and that's housing, food, transportation, and debt repayments. An online savings calculator like this one can help you figure out your savings goal, what you need to set aside each month to reach that goal, and how quickly that money will grow.
Definitely important to start saving as much as you can or as little as you can. If it's $5, $10 a month, you'll be surprised how quickly that adds up.
And you know, there are a few tricks to this. Make automatic deposits into your savings account. You don't miss as much when you don't see it as much, right? And don't save at your regular bank. Instead, find an online savings account that's high yield, that's giving you something like 4 to 5% interest. I've got a list for you from NerdWallet in the Two Wants to Know section.
Greensboro homeowners can now start applying for a tax discount. Applications for the tax refund pilot program open this morning. Homeowners who earn $47,000 or less can apply. If that's you, you could get up to $150 back in the form of tax relief. The deadline to apply is June 15th.
And remember, Guilford County is offering a tax discount to homeowners who pay their taxes early. You can get a 1% discount on what you owe if you pay before September 1st. We'll be right back.
keeping jazz in the mix of things. That's exactly what's happening at Greensboro College this week. The Jazz Ensemble of Greensboro College is performing a free concert that is this Thursday, and to say the kids are excited is an understatement. I spoke with the music director actually, of Greensboro College, Benji Springs, who says these kids got connected through this particular musical genre.
When they came to me, many of them have not even played in a jazz ensemble, so I've spent a lot of time trying to teach them about the history of the music and what a joy it is to play in a big band.
The group will also be accompanied by world-renowned trumpet player Adam Rappa. They say that this is really a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
They're very excited about it. You know, Adam Rappa, our guest artist, is pretty well known in the trumpet world. He's renowned as a player. And so he sent me some arrangements we're going to work on and have been working on. And they're totally different from anything that I would have picked out myself for the band. And they're very exciting. The folks that come to the concert will, I think, enjoy what we're playing with him. They feature him well, and the band has worked extremely hard on playing some completely different music to us.
The concert is this Thursday. It's at the Huggins Performance Center on the campus of Greensboro College. It's at 7:30, and it's free, by the way, totally free. They do, if someone wants to donate money, they will not turn that down for the program. But they also have a master class, so that Adam Rappa, the trumpet player, is going to be there at 3. Again, free and open to the public. You can come in and ask him questions. He'll play and show you his technique. It's really a cool thing.
What an awesome experience for the students that are involved, especially someone that they probably look up to and they can learn a lot from them. I think it's great, and also great for the community. We can come and watch a free show.
And how neat that it's jazz music. I am not a musician, but just my perspective of it is that maybe jazz is one of the genres of music that younger people don't specialize in as much.
It's funny because I love it, and I grew up because my father liked it, and so I kind of grew up with a little bit of that influence, but yet my brothers and sisters don't like it at all, but I do. And I think it's valuable for all of us to know, because the roots of jazz is a lot of southern influence, southern United States roots in jazz, so it's really cool.
I mean, R&B.
Yep.
Hip hop, even some country, a lot of that is rooted into jazz, so it does set the foundation for a lot of music.
So go check it out, 7:30 Thursday. We'll have all the info on our website. One thing that he did say I wanted to mention, some of the kids, as he said, they'd never played jazz ever.
Wow.
And so, especially brass, you find it hard, at least me as a musician, but brass plays a big role in jazz music.
Trumpets,
yes, and
the
horns,
sax,
trombones,
all
all
of
that.
it.
And I was surprised when I'd heard that a lot of those kids, even though they came up through the ranks playing brass instruments, had never really played jazz. So this was their first time, and he said they're sold. Well, it features, it highlights brass.
Yeah.
So.
And what a perfect day to be outside just listening to some
yes.
brass and some jazz.
Could you play some out by the Weather Center for me?
I can. I will be right back.
Just gonna go get the
I thought you were going to actually pull something out for us. I said, oh.
Could you imagine?
Pull out a
Surprise
trombone. I'd like to see Chad doing that. All right, let's see what's going on with our forecast. Yeah, we've got some warm days ahead. Chad is right. Get outside. This is just a beautiful stretch of days. We're at 67 degrees right now, 69 in Charlotte, 70 in Raleigh. Boone's cooler at 57, but if you look coast side, Wilmington's at 76, Myrtle Beach 74, and Charleston at 76 as well. All right, hour by hour, dropping down to the 50s by probably 9 o'clock, if not a little bit earlier tonight, hitting the 40s by 2 a.m., and we think our overnight lows will remain in the 40s, but highs tomorrow shoot way up to the mid-70s. Beautiful Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, really, for that matter, coming up. And with the Hoppers home opener tomorrow, that's exactly what you need to do, because that weather is picture perfect. All right, low pressure way up to our north, and the cold front that extends down from that. You can see all that is moving off the coast. We say goodbye. Here comes the high pressure, clockwise flow of winds around that high. That means as that high progresses more to the east, and we're on the left side of that, we get that warmer flow out of the south, and that's exactly why we see from the upper 60s today to the mid-70s tomorrow, and then to the low 80s. And as we mentioned, we stay in those low 80s for a while. Let's recap tonight. It'll be clear and cool, 42, winds out of the west 10 to 15. Tomorrow, we might still see some blustery conditions with the strength of that. You combine the influence of the high to the south of us and the low to the north, and you get a little bit of a wind here. West 10 to 15, gusting to 30. May not be quite as bad as today, but we'll keep an eye out for that for you. 74 for the high tomorrow. Here's your 7-day forecast. As once again, as we mentioned, Hoppers are home. Season opener tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Be there. 74 degrees, and then sunshine, 80 and 83. the range of highs for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A great 4-day stretch. Saturday, unfortunately for the weekend, we do get a chance of rain, maybe even a thunderstorm. It'll be in the evening at least, but Saturday morning you might be okay. 40% chance of that, a high of 78. On the backside of that front, we'll clear out Sunday, 68 for the high. That's a little bit below our normal this time of the year of 71, and we'll hold for that 68, but with lots of sunshine on Monday of next week.
Well, did you stay up late last night to watch the Love is Blind reunion? Well, it is now available after some problems with the live stream. Twitter was ablaze when people tuned in and didn't see anything. Many, including some in our newsroom, sat waiting for it to start. Even Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted about the delay. This isn't the first time the streaming platform has had live shows. Comedian Chris Rock had a special streamed live last month. And I was one of the people in the newsroom that stayed up for about an hour and I think it took about an hour and a half for this thing to go live. And they have been hyping it up for weeks, you know, join the reunion live. And Love is Blind is one of their top series. So a lot of people were anticipating it. So I made sure I got all my chores and activities done so I could watch it live at 8. I had my dinner ready, 8:02, 8:03. I couldn't get in. It just kept going loading. And then I'm texting my friends, they're like, it's loading for me too. And then 20 minutes passed. We're like, what is going on?
So did they have a crash in the server?
So what it sounded like, it was too many people trying to get on at one time. But I kind of feel like they should have tested this beforehand or something. But it didn't. I mean, it was about an hour and a half before it actually got started.
It's like the Taylor Swift Ticketmaster.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, you know what? At some point, do you start to question whether this was intentional or whether it was a mistake? Because, I mean, people are talking about it today.
They're talking about it, but I feel like it had to have been a mistake because it wasn't really a good look for Netflix. And the memes on Twitter were hilarious, but I feel like most people, you're just going to go back tomorrow and watch it. We don't have to, it's not like this was the only time you could see it. So I feel like it kind of just looked like maybe live isn't for you or something like that. I know a lot of people were like, you know, you got to get it together.
They destroyed them on social media. That's for sure.
And I mean, I don't think I've ever watched a live program on Netflix.
It's new. It's a new thing. Because
Yeah,
I
only
think
Chris
Chris
Rock.
Rock's
That was it.
performance was new. Because I remember seeing that. I'm like, live? Because it was like Chris Rock live coming up.
Which
I said,
I
that's
love that.
interesting.
Yeah.
So this is the wave, the direction streaming
Maybe.
is going in, I guess.
And changes will have to be made.
Yes, there will.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm sure headquarters was freaking
Oh,
out
yeah,
last
Right.
night, for sure.
Well, from current shows to old ones, last week I introduced some of my younger coworkers to one of my favorite TV shows as a kid, Alf. Lots of people responded on my Facebook page with their memories of the show. It inspired me to ask which shows you wanted to come back. Lula says, most of them too many to choose from. Just last night I was watching Different Strokes with my daughter before going to bed. She loves the show. Debbie says, Mork and Mindy. Lisa said, Brady Bunch, Waltons, and Little House. And Kevin says, dinosaurs, not the mama, LOL. That was such a good show.
That was a great
It was one
show,
of my
too.
favorites with those dinosaurs that, like
People-
the baby would like hit the dad.
Oh,
on the
I
head.
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember that.
I remember, and that was loosely based on the Flintstones, I heard, because you know, the big guy was
okay.
the
Yeah.
dad was like Fred Flintstone.
Any shows you would want
My
to come
gosh,
back?
I mean,
Because I
there-
have plenty.
So I looked at your post, and someone said Carol Burnett. That's definitely one.
Yeah.
I wish we could have that cast back. All in the Family, Three's Company. You can tell I grew up in the 70s.
Those are all good ones.
Yeah, Love Boat.
I would say for me, Girlfriends, I don't know if you've ever seen it, was on UPN, and I
do
was like in
remember.
second grade when it came out, so I wasn't old enough to understand the humor, but then Netflix released all 8 seasons, and I binge watched it in like a week, and they ended up getting canceled on their last season, so it ended so abruptly, and so I would love for the ladies to come back so we can find out what happened at the end of the show.
Have you ever looked at reruns of shows you loved as a kid and you didn't get half the humor because it was
Oh
meant
yeah,
for adults?
movies too, like
Yes.
certain movies, and then like
Right.
I'm like, this is so funny, but I just didn't get it when I was
Right.
younger.
I remember saying something from a from a Steve Martin comedy thing
no.
to my mother, and I didn't know that it was a bad thing to say. And
Oh,
I said it to her, and she
no.
went, "Eric," and I went, "What?" And she goes, "That's bad."
I had
Don't
a
say
couple moments like that as a child where I repeated something, and my mom said, "What did you say?" I said, "Well, I got it watching this." She said, "You are not to watch that movie anymore."
See, for me, it would be like any of the shows from TGIF. So Full House, Step by
Step by Step.
Family
Oh my
Matters,
gosh.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, I love those shows. And Full House, you know, they have Fuller House now,
Yeah.
Boy Meets World, they have Girl Meets World now. So some of them are making a comeback.
I love Family Matters only because of Urkel.
Yeah,
Urkel,
that was.
the
Did
best.
I do
The
that?
best.
And then Stefan Urkel. was
Yes.
so-
Oh yes.
Hot
The
stuff.
alter ego. All right, we'll be right back.
Yes. Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
I've decided that instead of Stefan Urkel, we have Shad Silver,
What's
Lorraine Coman,
Lauren Coman.
Yeah.
I like that.
and Eric Chilton.
Because they had like a better version of the woman too, right?
Laura, not
No,
Laura. What was her name?
like the nerdy girl that likes Steve.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I can't think of her name.
I can't think of it, but I love it in
phone?
movies when they take someone who's really attractive and, makes them look
Yes.
not so attractive.
So funny. Apparently, he was nothing like that, Jamal. What's his name? Nothing like Urkel.
That's impressive.
All right, let's talk about, in a minute, we're going to talk about the weather, by the way. We'll see some low 80s, a stretch of about 4, count today, maybe even 5 days of great weather coming up.
Wow. Meantime, it snowed a half a foot in my hometown last night.
Did it really?
I'm going home this week to meet my nephew, and there's snow chances 3 of the 4 days that I'm at home.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm just excited to meet my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, and that's it.
All right, more on the weather in just a moment, but we're going to hop into some news. Greensboro City Council is hosting a public hearing tonight about an incentives package for an aviation company.
Yeah, Marshall USA is considering building a maintenance facility at PTI Airport. The move would create up to 240 jobs. Airport leaders told us they're in talks with nearly a dozen companies about moving into or expanding at the airport, partially because of Boom Supersonic moving in to build its new supersonic jet.
Governor Roy Cooper announced a new aircraft maintenance company is coming to the city. TAT Piedmont Aviation is expanding its operation near the Piedmont Triad International Airport, bringing 85 new jobs. Leaders say salaries will vary by role, but the average yearly wage will be more than $51,000. The company has been in business for 6 decades and services big names like Boeing, Delta Airlines, and FedEx.
There's a big outreach and networking event for local business owners tonight. Guilford County's first Minority and Women Business Enterprise program is hosting Forward Together from 6 to 7:30 at the Barber Park Event Center in Greensboro. The free event provides an opportunity for minority and women-owned businesses to learn more about the technical and financial assistance offered to business owners.
Well, April is National Internship Month. Internships can give students an edge in getting a job after they graduate from college. This is what Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology, and I are talking about today. So Blanca, let's get right to it. How do internships give students an edge in their job search?
Students can get an edge in their job search with internships because they get real world experience. They get to explore different career paths, different positions. They can apply what they've learned in the classroom and see it unfold in front of their eyes and when they are in an internship. And like I said, they get just to try a lot of different things. And so that's how it gives them the edge of securing employment later on, because they're already in that professional setting.
So there's so many internships out there. What should students look for in an internship?
There are a lot of different things students should look for in an internship, but one is just really the learning opportunity where their boundaries are stretched a little bit. And what I mean is, so instead of just going in and doing what they already know, it's just different types of skill sets that they can exercise, how they apply what they've learned or try something new. That is really important. Also networking. They want to make sure they have networking opportunities so they can meet other people in the field. That is equally important.
So my last question for you, Blanca, is what should students think about to get the most out of their internship?
They need to jump right on in to get the most out of that internship. And what I mean is they have to take the initiative, ask questions, ask for opportunities that might not be part of the internship, but you've met somebody in the company. Or they're like, oh, I want to explore this path or this profession or this subspecialty. And it's about asking questions, being curious, staying inquisitive, and just seeing where it can take them. You just don't want to do what they're asking you to do. Obviously, you should do that. But what I mean to say is you want to stretch those boundaries and see how much they can actually learn and get from the experience.
Internships, they can be life-changing. I know from experience. Thank you so much, Blanca. You can continue the conversation with Blanca on her Facebook page. That's Blanca Cobb, body language expert.
You might have noticed gas prices ticking upward. The national average is $3.67. The state average is $3.54, so 13 cents cheaper. Local prices are similar. Guilford County is at $3.58, Forsyth $3.57, Davidson $3.55, and Randolph $3.51.
If you're a WIC member in Randolph County, you should know the office is relocating from the Public Health main building to the Northgate Shopping Center in Asheboro. Office hours and the phone number will not change. The move will occur next Wednesday.
This weekend, we are teaming up with Greensboro Urban Ministry for our annual Food to Families food drive. We'll be collecting food at Harris Teeter at Friendly Center Saturday from 8 to 5.
The Forsyth County Animal Shelter is back open. The shelter has been closed for several weeks after the county took control when a contract with the Forsyth Humane Society came to an end. The shelter needed to undergo another inspection by the state, and leaders found out they passed last Friday. People can now go inside to adopt stray pets as well as surrender animals. The shelter is open Tuesday to Saturday each week.
The Greensboro Grasshoppers are hosting opening day tomorrow. They've been on the road for the llast 10 days and are already 7-2. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. at First National Bank Field.
And boy, what a day for baseball or anything that you want to do outside. In fact, we have a stretch of really 3 to 4 days. If you count today, our weather looks pretty good through Friday, really. All of this week, our first significant rain chance is Saturday, unfortunately, but it's a 40% Saturday evening. So anything during the day, early, especially, and Saturday morning, you should be in pretty good shape. This is a really nice stretch of days. We can't argue. 67 in Greensboro, 70 in High Point right now. Asheboro, you're at 68. Lexington, 69 degrees. It's 71 in Troy, and we're in the mid to upper 50s in the mountain communities. If you talk about winds, they have been on the increase for today. So maximum wind gusts, not sustained winds, but just a gust here or there since midnight, technically. 29 miles per hour in Greensboro. That's pretty strong. 25 in Asheboro. Burlington, you had a 26 mile an hour wind gust. Look back up to the mountains, though. Wilkesboro at 38 miles per hour, and Boone almost a 40 mile per hour wind gust. Pretty strong. We'll see a little bit more of that, we think, tomorrow before we'll be able to calm things down a bit. A cool start to your morning as we see those lows in the low to mid 40s, depending on where you are, but then we push up to 74 tomorrow. Sunshine pretty much all day. Again, a little bit of a breeze, but it's going to be a really nice day. We have to go out to the wide shot here of our satellite and radar to really show you the picture of what's happening. Low pressure way to the north, but that extending cold front, it is moving off the coast now. It leaves our entire state with a good condition heading into the night tonight. Winds should be out of the west, about 10 to 15, and that low tonight, 42 degrees. For tomorrow, we're up to 74, lots of sunshine. Again, some wind gusts could be up there a little bit, but I don't think it'll be overall as bad as it was today. First day of the hoppers, that's a beautiful forecast. 74 there, which means around first pitch, you should probably be right around 70. 80 for Wednesday, 83 for Thursday, Friday, and you're looking at sunny to partly cloudy skies. It's beautiful. Next rain chance, as we mentioned, that is Saturday. It's a 40% chance, and really with temperatures even in the upper 70s, we can't rule out a thunderstorm, although it should be isolated, but we'll keep you posted. Sunday morning, a leftover 20%, but then after that we'll clear out. It'll be a little cooler. In fact, that's the first day with below normal temperatures. Sunday and Monday, we're at 68 degrees when our normal high should be around 71.
Thousands of fans lined the route of the Boston Marathon today, many remembering the deadly attack on the race that happened 10 years ago already.
It was an emotional start to the 127th Boston Marathon, 10 years after the fatal bombing that shook this city like never before.
I am so excited.
Racers in wheelchairs were first to start, followed by a sea of nearly 30,000 runners covering the 26.2-mile course from Hopkinton to Boston.
I'm very excited, and it's so cool to see all of these people come together to do one race.
Over the weekend, families attended remembrance ceremonies and wreaths were laid at the sites where 2 pressure cooker bombs went off. Heather Abbott lost her leg below the knee in the attack, and now her foundation helps others get access to prosthetic devices.
I've made an effort to not focus on what I can't change. And what I can't change is what happened the day of the Boston Marathon bombing. So I try to look forward and think about how I can change the future and how I can make it better.
But this Monday, the focus was on the racers. 2 Kenyans led the way. Evans Chebet won the men's division for the 2nd year in a row, and Helen Obiri pulled away from the pack very late in the race to win in only her 2nd marathon. Runners showing they are Boston strong 10 years later, crossing the finish line in the same location. Jared Hill, CBS News, Boston.
Hundreds of North Carolinians are taking part in the marathon today. One is Alexandra Brown, who is running it for her grandfather, who recently passed away. Running a marathon is already an accomplishment, but running the course when you're blind, that's an amazing feat. We have been tracking Alexandra during her race, and she finished with a time of 5 hours, 38 minutes, and 31 seconds. Let's give a clap to her, because running a marathon is no joke, and for this marathon you have to qualify. You can't just sign up to participate. Right. You have to be someone who actually runs marathons.
So there's a guy who he's a cancer doctor, brain doctor in town, deals with cancer mostly, who was friends with me and my wife, and he ran marathons so fast that he thought he might be able to qualify for the Olympic team, and he was in his late 30s. So this guy was in incredible shape, and when I would watch him run, I just thought, how in the world would somebody can go out and just run 10, 15 miles at a pop?
Just because they're like training.
Training,
for one that's more than double that. I wish that I liked running.
I hate it, but you're right.
I mean, like I do it at the gym now just because I have to for cardio, but I just really don't like it.
And there's some people who are so passionate about it, they just put their headphones in and they just run for miles and miles. I watched the Boston Marathon bombing documentary that Netflix just released, and one of the police officers in the department, he actually participated in the race that day earlier in that morning, and he finished in 3 hours and a few minutes, and he went home, and then that's when he heard that the incident took place. But I was like, 3 hours, that's
26 miles, right?
Is that right?
26.2.
Yeah.
0.2.
I remember vividly watching the coverage of this happening as it was happening. Because you remember, it took hours for them to find, the people who were responsible. I just remember seeing live, like the video, the live picture of that boat where they
where
thought
the young man
he
was in.
Where he was hiding. Yes.
I won't ever forget that day.
I think it was the most intensive manhunt to date, because it was over a series of days, and they pretty much shut down the city, and where he was hiding was about a block away from where the police last saw him and his brother. And they had shut down the city, we're going to all these places, and he was just a block away. I mean, scary situation, but just to see Boston and how strong they are and how they've come back and bounced back from such a tragic event like that.
Thumbs up for the documentary, though?
Thumbs up.
Okay.
They did a really good job detailing just the ins and outs of that whole operation.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
The wine industry is picking up steam in North Carolina. There are several reasons behind the pickup. Let's connect the dots.
North Carolina is making a big comeback in wine production. Let's connect the dots. The Tar Heel State has a long history with wine. We're home to the oldest cultivated grapevine in the country, grown on Roanoke Island back in the 1500s. Commercial wineries sprouted in the centuries following, with North Carolina becoming the leading wine-producing state in the early 1900s. But Prohibition wiped out the industry, and now the state is working to rebound. The wine industry has boomed in the past 20 years, with more than 200 wineries across the state. Good soil conditions and a long growing season make the Carolinas ideal for vineyards. The Tar Heel State now back as a major player, with 2 million folks visiting wineries every year. The state generating nearly $2 billion and contributing 10,000 jobs to the state economy. Now you can enjoy everything from a glass of Chardonnay to a glass of Merlot from right here in North Carolina. And that's Connecting the Dots.
All right, so I asked you on Facebook, tell me your favorite North Carolina winery and why. Here's what you had to say. There were lots of responses on this. Chris says Haysgrave Vineyards, delicious estate wines, a must-go-to in Dobson. Wonderful people, veteran-owned. Jewel Banzay says Rayland, their Category 5 red is top-notch. Terry said Sanctuary in Jarvisburg, North Carolina. I live at the Outer Banks, and it is totally local. Carol says Childress Vineyards, the events, a gift shop, restaurant, live music, and a bottle of their great wine. Kathy says Morgan Ridge down near Denton. It has a beautiful winery and a brewery there. They also have amazing food. And Becky is closer to my neck of the woods. I love this one. Shelton Vineyards, their wine is great. They also have summer concerts. I agree with that. That's a favorite of my wife and I. And Shelton Vineyards has a history. They're in Surrey County, but they started it. They were the first to start the boom in Yadkin Valley area. So they built theirs, and they also worked with Surrey Community College to have like a wine, like a, what do they call it, viticulture major, where you can study how to do wine and how to make it. And so people would go to that community college to learn how to do it, and they drew winemakers in, and that started the boom in the state.
I have 3 favorites.
What are they?
Childress, because of the frozen wines that you can
Yes, those are good.
Metaloni, because I just love the atmosphere in the wine, and then Raffledini because of just the views that they have.
The views, I've been there, yes.
I enjoyed Childress as well for the frozen wines, and then I just liked how spread out it was. It's pretty spacious, and the day I went, it was beautiful weather, and there was live music. There was a guy playing his guitar with his own written music, and so I was like, this is really cool. I definitely want to come back. And they have a hotel, you know, right down the street too.
Yep.
So if you drink too much, you know, you can
stay right there.
Stay right there. Don't drive home.
The thing I'll tell you about Shelton, if you've never been, it's worth it because their Harvest Grill, their restaurant there, the chef originally, they hired this guy from Manhattan to come down. Their food is crazy good. It's on property, and they have a Hampton Inn on site with a wine bar in it. It's really cool.
And if you're looking for some place that has a heavy pour, have you all ever done? Have you ever done the wine tasting at the Biltmore?
I have, yes.
You're right.
Because at the end of your tour, they let you do the wine. You get to taste like 3 wines.
Oh, you can taste as many as you want and as many times as you want.
That is true.
Don't drive home after that.
No. You stay at the Biltmore Inn, the Inn at Biltmore, and you'll be good. All right, let's talk about our forecast. Everything we've mentioned is good weather for all of that. All those spots. You got to head out and check them out. It would be great, and I know they do this. You can do winery tours across the Yadkin Valley area. You should look into that if that interests you. You know what? Even if you're not a wine drinker, it's to see what all of these vineyards look like and some of the periphery stuff they have around there, the food and all that. It's just wonderful. It's a good part of our economy. 67 in the Triad right now, 70 in Raleigh, Fayetteville 73. Temperatures are comfortable. Winds are up there a little bit. You know, we're about 10 to 15 as an average for sustained winds, but wind gusts have been between 20 and about 29 miles per hour today. So a little bit blustery. Tonight, though, clear and cool. Will drop down to about 42. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and nice. Might still be a little bit breezy tomorrow, but look at those temperatures with sunshine, 74, and the Hoppers open tomorrow night. First pitch at 6:30. You can get there right after work. It'd be great. And I don't know if they have this special running yet, but they have a 2 for Tuesday hot dog special. I'm not sure if that's tomorrow, but I'm waiting for that one. Clear skies across the area. We do have to watch out, especially in our northern counties. The National Weather Service issued this fire weather watch. It just means it's exceptionally dry, and we have a period of 2 to 3 days with no rain mentioned. So it could be a little dry. If you were to do any outdoor burning, you probably shouldn't, because it could catch pretty quickly. So that is in effect until Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And across the region, you'll see the cold front goes off the coast there. That continues to move away, and we are left with a stretch of beautiful days here. 42 degrees, the low tonight, which means that's your temperature tomorrow morning, right? Clear skies to start the day, and really it's all sunshine tomorrow. Love that high of 74 degrees. When you look at our long-range outlook, the 7-day forecast, after that 74, we go to the low 80s, a little peak of summer early. 80 on Wednesday, 83 Thursday, Friday, all 3 days, mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Saturday, we have a front approach us with a chance of maybe an evening shower or isolated thunderstorm. We do not think that will be major, not a big thunderstorm event, but an isolated thunderstorm is possible. That rain chance the strongest in the whole 7-day, but even that, it's only a 40%. 78 for the high that day, and then we'll start to cool down. You notice every day, tomorrow through Saturday, is above our normal of 71. The 2 coolest days will be Sunday and Monday. 68 on Sunday. We might see a morning sprinkle, but then clearing after that. Lots of sunshine, and Monday's a beautiful day. Sunny, mainly dry, and a high of 68.
Hello, 1, 2, developing now. We are learning more about 1, 2.
Hey there, 5 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Hi, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois.
Hello, I shall do what Lauren did, and I shall also be temporarily British. Hello, this is Manning.
Of course, it's like in the... Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you so much.
I still went like this.
You hear that? It's time ticking down to do your taxes. You've got until midnight tomorrow if you plan on e-filing. And if you're not done yet, I feel ya. I just finished my taxes this morning. In fact, according to the Associated Press, a quarter of us waited until today or even tomorrow to file. I've been trying to figure out why I put it off for so long. I think because it's just so easy nowadays. 87% of people end up taking the standard deduction instead of itemizing. And there are all those free file tax return companies online, like TurboTax and H&R Block. In fact, anyone making under $73,000 a year can use the software for free. If you make over that limit, it's a little more work, but the company's websites will tell you which forms to fill out and how to do it, also for free. Once I finally sat down to fill everything out, it took less than 15 minutes. And I did it all right on my phone. So if you've been putting off doing your taxes, now is the time. Grab your phone and get to crunching those numbers. Remember, if you do miss the Tuesday deadline, it will cost you 5% of the amount of tax due for each month you're late. A fee none of us want to pay. So take a deep breath and get it done. That's my 2 cents. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Developing now, we are learning more about the victims of a deadly wrong-way crash in Winston-Salem.
And we now know the identities of 2 of the 4 people who died in the crash yesterday morning on Highway 52. A woman